Hello, thank you for joining me today. If you're new here, thank you for joining me. I hope that you enjoy what I make and have a peekaboo around my channel, and maybe you'd like to subscribe. Leave a comment. I love comments. So today is World Card Making Day. And I love making cards, so when I was given the opportunity to be in this YouTube collaboration, I was like, yes, 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 yes. So this YouTube collaboration is with Fraps and Scraps, Make All Things With Me, and Christie's Crafty Cottage. And so we are given 20 minutes-ish to make a card. And so this is the card that we're going to make today for me. It's not that difficult. It's fairly easy. And the card base, like my scrap piece of paper I wrote it on. My card base is 5 inches by 4 inches. And the overlay is 4.5. I have another thing in here. 4.5 by 3.25. Oh, and then I made just a piece of plain paper the same size as this, and that's just going to go on the inside of our card. So for now, we're going to worry about this first, and I'm going to put this to the side. I will take and I will put these measurements just at the very end of the video. Okay, so this little piece here is going to be the part that's going to go across here like so. So we're just going to take these and line them up. Now you can do it, start here, and then you know more of where you're going. So that's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to start right there. And I just use this El Cheapo glue. It doesn't have to be fabulous. It just has to stick. And I'm dealing with so much cardstock, so nothing is bending out of the way. And with the strips that I cut here, I guess I should go into those a little bit, shouldn't I? These are 1 3/4 inch strips. The ones that I did here, these were 1/2 inch. And I like that, I do. But I thought for this time, I'm not going to put the embossing on it, because not everybody has the embosser, so I'm not going to do embossing. But we are going to put a little more glue here. Okay, get up out of the way here. There we go. I'm just going to get that, and I'm just taking it right to the edge here. And then I'm going to, what I did with these ones, with some of them, I just took some of this gold paint that I have, and I put that on the edges just to give it a little bit of a, you know, a little difference. A little bit of, oops, that's okay. We'll just leave it there. There we go. And then I just take and alternate these, being sure to come all the way down. You can see where that is just a little piece. And I'm just going to bring, what I'm doing is I'm bringing this corner down to this edge. That's what I'm doing. So these strips here, depends on your, of course, on the size of your, if you're doing this size of card, but I needed 6 strips for this. I'm just going to do that. There we go. I'll get this one here. And the reason why I put it to the edge as close as I can is because, oops, shoot. Nope, don't want that. Get that glue off there. Get that glue off of there. Oh, I almost Almost did no good. Okay. There we go. There we go. Oop. Now I got glue everywhere. Okay. A little bit of glue here. I'm just going to take this side like so. And then before we do that corner, so that's 2, 4, 6 strips, and then I have 1 here. So 7 in total, but we're going to use 6 on the front of our card. And I'm just going to take and trim these off carefully. And we're going to get these ones. And let's just get this collaboration. I am so excited. I'm so excited because I want to see everybody's makes. Like I said, I enjoy making cards. So to get some new ideas, it's awesome. And in the description will be the playlist where you just have to click on the playlist and go visit everybody. Okay, so I'm going to get these guys out of here. Yeah, get out. I love this mat, but okay, so I'm just going to take one of my pieces here, and I am going to run it in here, like so. I'll trim that off. And do we have a little bit of gold on there? And let's just do, yep, that'll work. The tiniest little corner. I'd rather have one tiny corner than a bunch of two. That's why I started it down at one corner instead of starting it this way and working 2 ways. I just worked the 1 way. Okay. Now this is when I embossed the other one, but I'm not going to emboss it because as you can see, that is pretty too. It doesn't have to be embossed. So the embossing is pretty, adds a little extra texture, but I like that as well. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to just take and use my finger brush, my most important tool, and I'm just going to go around the edges. Now on the other one I rounded corners. This one I'm not going to this time because, you know, they don't all have to be the same. I love this one. This is more like a paste. And if I could find it in a little different colors, like a copper, that would be awesome. Okay. So now this just kind of gives it, if you don't like gold, you can use a different color or don't use anything at all. I like gold. There. Okay, so that just gives it just a little bit. I don't know if the camera is picking that up or not. Just adds a little different, something a little different to it. Okay, another thing a person could do is use stickles and put just little stickles in there. I might do that on this one once I have it all done. Okay, so I'm going to let this just dry for a moment and let's get to the card. Make sure I have no glue on the back. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put this over here because we're going to take this and we're going to just glue this in here. I just want to make sure. And that just, a lot of times I don't decorate the inside of the card because I do try to keep it as much writing space as possible, but also keep the weight down for mailing. But this one, our postal service is on strike, and I have no clue if and or when they're ever going to come back. So, right for the moment, I'm not mailing anything out because, well, it's not going to go anywhere. I think I'm going to do that one. And I'm just going to take my ink here. And I'm just going to give the page edges. And that is kind of sort of that same color-ish. Like so. There we go. Now, I've used up scraps, but if I had used an actual paper, I would have made sure that I had enough that I could have made a corresponding envelope, but because mine is just scraps, I'm just not going to be able to do that. We're not going to use glue on that. We're going to use this now because I don't want this to be wrinkly. And this double-sided tape is just one that I pick up at our local Dollar Tree. They usually have an abundance of it. And for card making, I do really prefer to use this. It just seems to keep the cards looking a little more neater. Make sure that's right down there. Yeah, there we go. And because this doesn't have to hold up to a hurricane or anything, I just use the 2 strips. And then I'm just going to put this in here right about like so. There we go. That just gives a little something, something. And then I have these what are they? Tim Holtz Small Talk. And so sometimes I just put a little one in here just to put, a little something in there. And so I am going to put this one in here because it says, we'll be best friends forever because you already know way too much. So I'm just going to stick that in there. And I am going to use one of these. Because that brings in that gold. And I'm just going to, hopefully I'm not out of screen here. Let me move this, shall I? There, okay. Back to where things matter. So I'm just making a little background for this. And I can see, I'm just going to, just like so. But I don't like that. Okay, don't rip the paper up. Well, I think we'll have to use a different one. Not that one. Because Sophie didn't do that right. Okay, let's trim this first, shall we? Trim this one first. Boom, there we go. Now, is this the right? Fit in there? Oh, not really. I need that to be longer. And that one's not going to work. This one would have worked, I think, just fine. Okay, hold on. Do I have another one? I do. Okay. So, I'm just going to put this on here for as big as I want it to be. And because I glued it, chuck the that in there. Okay, so I'm just going to give a little extra glue because I kind of ripped it up. Because, you know, I don't do everything perfectly. I make mistakes. Yes, I know. Crazy. Okay, so here we go. And I'm going to put this right here. There we go. Right there. And then I'm going to cut this off right about there. Okay, now we're cooking. And I'm going to put this pin back in here because you can see my glue is going crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna spend a half an hour getting that glue thing in there. Okay, so now I'm gonna take my pretty glue once again. I'm just going to a little bit more. There we go, that's lots. There we go. Yeah, okay. Let that dry, get the glue off my hand. Okay. Get the paint off my hand. Don't want none of that on there. Get this out of the way. So now we have our sentiment thingy done. And let's put this in place now. Now I want to put this over here, and I'm going to show you why we're going to put it way over there. So we're just going to more of this. And we'll put that right about there. Okay. Like so. And then, oop, you're still wet. Don't do that. Okay, so I am just going to take and mark this right about here, I think. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to eyeball it, that this side and this is about the same. And I'm going to cut this little piece off of here. To get my little... I'm running, you know, I do this all the time. I work myself into a little tiny little space. Okay, onto the floor that goes. Okay, so I am going to just take and line this up. And what I'm doing is I'm lining my little notch where my blade is to my line that I made. Make sure that it's nice and straight. Nothing's worse than a crooked cut. We can put this back over here to just a tad. We're still straight. We are. Okay. There we go. So I'm just taking that little edge off so that now our corner will be like that. And we can put, oops, we can put this on here now. Sure we can. There we go. There we go. This one. Oops, that's my Charlie. Hi, buddy. Okay, so I am going to stick this right about there. That's the one thing about this tape. It tells you where it's going to go. You miss the mark, that's where it is. So I'm going to put this in here, just like so. But I thought we would put a little bit of, now let's put our little foam pieces on here. These foam pieces are so old, but the adhesive still works. And I'm just going to do up about, you can see that I used some recycled cardstock. It was a box that I had. And I'm just going to take and smoosh this one up a little bit. There we go. Smoosh it. It sticks to itself and still does what it's supposed to. And this one here, I'm going to just give a little snip to, and I'm going to put that right here. No, I need it on the end. So let's take this off and make sure that it's not showing anywhere. Looks good. Right there. It needs to not be there. There we go. Okay, and I think the rest of it should all be good. Okay, so this here, with the other one, I just kind of did some loops. Oops. I did some loops. And you can just take and get my fingers out of there. There we go. And we're just going to take and put that about, oops, put that right about there, like so. Now this might be where I struggle, because I might just, oops. There we go, good enough. And we'll just wrap this around a few times. That's where it is. And does this have to be even? No, because it's going to be in behind here, so we don't really care. We just want it to be. We just want it to be. And so I'm just going to take and put a little dollop of glue in here to hold this in place. No one's going to see this, so it can be glued like crazy. And then to decide whereabouts I want my this and where I want this to go, because I want it to kind of be in behind here. In behind here, something like that. Something like that. Just to give it a little, you know, oops, there's lots of glue there. Let's put that in there. Okay. We're just going to take this all off of here. And because I can, I'm going to put a little dollop of glue in here. Just because, ooh, that was close. That was very close. Too close. The glue. Okay. And we're dolloping all over the place. Okay, so I'm just going to bring this down to right here, and I want this like so, and I think we want this to be about like so. Is that straight? Nope. Let's put it straight, and then we can line it up a little bit over here, a little bit more. Oh, don't I see what's going on here. But anyways, there we go. Get in there. And I will probably take and cut this down a little bit. Don't need that big one in there. And there we go. And I'm just going to put this lid on here because this glue is coming out all over the place. Does that do it to you guys too? Ugh, it's annoying. Okay, so now what I did here was I trimmed corners, and I kind of like that look too. So I think I'm going to trim this one, and I am going to use, let's see what it looks like with this one, with the little corner. Just gives it a little some. Let's see, is that, oh, just a hair, making it look odd. There we go. There we go. Okay, now we'll try this again. And is that one? No, we'll trim that one too. Just going to give this a little trim right here. If you can see, just that little bit of an overhang. A little here too. It's those little things that will make your card look like it's crooked. There we go. So just those little trims, just kind of clean everything up. And now on this one, I rounded the corners on there, but I think I'm not going to do that. I think I'm just going to leave this like this. So there we go. There's my card for today. I'm so excited. I am off to watch everyone else's because I want to learn new things. So I hope you join us, and just, if you're on the playlist, it'll just keep on playing the next until it's all done. So have fun and join us, and subscribe to the channels if you like the content. Leave a comment because we love comments. And thanks again. Bye-bye.